Welcome to the AM News. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has disclosed that first $600 million IMF fund will be used to finance government programs. This was reviewed at a joint Ghana-IMF press conference in Washington, D.C. after the IMF's approval of Ghana's $3 billion IMF deal.
But as you know, we are running a budget deficit. We are also agreeing for zero financing for that. So to continue to support the programs that we have is where the $600 million will be deployed. I think going forward, the issue of efficiency of government and efficiency of services to the people are going to be key. And therefore finding ways of ensuring that we're efficient in our deployment that we have. So that's going to be key. I think for all of us in Ghana to really internalize that there's a new era with regards to our own behavior, re-engineering, and the type of imports that we have, moving towards food security, so the importation of rice and poultry and tomatoes, etc., are brought down, and we produce those ourselves. That really will signal a new way forward that will increase the resilience and sustainability of the program.
In other news, Chief Justice Kwesi Anin-Yeboah is worried about the irregular flow of revenue from the District Assembly's Common Fund to the various assemblies within the country. Speaking at the inauguration of a courthouse at Beshi in Accra, he said the situation is making it difficult for the assemblies to support the construction of courthouses and subsequent justice delivery.
The new Beshi courthouse is sited at the Central Business District of Accra to tackle the prevailing sanitation crisis and other petty crimes. The facility has one courtroom and 5 other offices furnished with modern fittings to aid in the speedy adjudication of cases. Chief Justice Kwesi Anin-Yeboah is unhappy about the inability of the assemblies to contribute their quota to improving or constructing infrastructure to help in justice delivery.
It is our resolve to build a system of justice that assures our litigants and countrymen of efficient, timely and quality justice delivery. The provision of courthouses and accommodation for judges and magistrates is the responsibility of the MMDAs. The reality, however, is that the MMDAs are financially disabled to do so. Our plea is that within the constraints of the economy, everything should be done to ensure all districts, especially the newly created ones, get their fair share of courthouse infrastructure to guarantee the people's access to courts and justice delivery. The point can hardly be articulated that courthouses are national assets, which must be cherished, protected, and maintained appropriately for posterity. They mirror the importance a nation attaches to rule of law and good governance. It is for this reason that I urge not only the Municipal Assembly, but also our staff who will be working here to ensure the highest maintenance culture for both the facility and the equipment herein. The radar of the authorities should continually be on these facilities and its operations, so that the right thing is done at all times to prevent financial loss to the state.
Mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, said her outfit will do what it can to ensure discipline within the metropolis and the region.
As we work together to make Accra the model city in Africa, all hands must be on deck to ensure that rights of individuals, most especially the marginalized groups, women and children, are upheld at all times. Let me reiterate that no matter the nature of disputes or disagreements, violence will not and should not be an option in seeking real redress. We must also use the legal and judicial process to address those challenges. I want to assure the Chief Justice and all present here that we will continue to work with key stakeholders to ensure discipline within our metropolis. We are also working with key institutions to establish a sanitation court to enable the Assembly speedily prosecute all sanitation-related offences.
Stephen Mesa's report read to you.
Now, experts at a two-day transformational dialogue on small-scale mining have alluded to the increasing impact of illegal mining on public health and safety, calling for an urgent response from duty bearers. The Environmental Protection Agency reviewed alarming levels of mercury in the Tano River as heavy metals are found in the gills of fishes tested from the river. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko is part for the 2023 dialogue by the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani, and as for this report.
This year's UNAIR Transformational Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining opened with a call for action from the Council Chairman, Professor Kwesi Nsiah-Jabbar, and Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Elvis Asare-Bediako.
Artisanal and small-scale mining in Ghana is increasingly situated with the destruction of our forests, our water bodies, and our farmlands. The Galamsey menace is so serious that the next general elections will be determined by the way and manner in which the various political parties will address the Galamsey issue in their manifestos. So, Minister, if you can break the 8, then you can warm yourself from today.
The most pressing need in Ghana is for country-level stakeholders to strengthen their human and institutional capacity to implement, monitor, and manage difficulties linked with artisanal small-scale activity.
The Environmental Protection Agency, represented by its Ahafo Regional Director, Dr. Jackson Ediya Nyantachi, drew attention to the heavy metal contamination of water sources, narrowing in on some testing of samples from the Tano River.
EPA, we are also into research. I did a publication in Hundawi, that was last year. I assessed the levels of heavy metals, mercury to be specific, in face samples that were taken from River Tano at the Dantano area there. I thought I was just doing something simple. But when I realized the levels of mercury in the face samples, I became so alarmed. I looked at the levels in muscle, the fish muscles, the head, the gills, the eye, and the bones. The highest concentration was
Now, the Udara Basic School in Kumasi has been handed a modern science laboratory after developing an illuminated child road safety device. 6 girls from the school won the ultimate prize at the maiden edition of the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Prize G-Step Challenge. The learning facility would whip up the interest of students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics at the 4 Garrison Educational Center. There's more in this report.
After throwing the judges and audience into a rousing ovation with their innovation, the Junior 6 of Udara Basic School has paved the way for students at their school to access science learning materials. As part of their winning prize, the school received a well-established STEM laboratory from G-Step Consortium with funding from Foundation Botna. The facility is equipped with scientific apparatus, microscopes, 3D printing machine, laptop and desktop computers, and other learning and teaching aids. Founder of G-Step, Constance Ajiman, is optimistic of a practical STEM learning and teaching experience.
Having this equipment in the school means that the teachers have a lot more resource to be able to support their students, and the students are able to get much more practical hands-on learning. So rather than just learning about it theoretically, they are now able to actually touch the equipment, test the equipment, do the experiments, and that teaches them in a much more different way. But the teachers can also now show them directly what is going on. So it supports the teachers to teach more effectively, and they want that opportunity.
The illuminated child road safety device developed by the all-female group is a solar-powered device that aids school children to cross busy inner-city roads. The user-friendly device can be used by students at the basic schools in the absence of the human aid when crossing highways. Elated by the feat, Priscilla Oseitutu says the group is hoping to enhance features on the device and eventually commercialize it.
Basically, the whole device is powered by a solar panel, and attached to that we have an aluminium frame, and attached to that we have the rocket-like device, which is mainly the ICRSD, which will be detached from the panel, then will be used to cross the road. So from here, we are still researching and hoping to modify some parts of the device, and that we will see to it that the whole device is produced in a mass quantity.
Fort Garrison Education Officer Lieutenant Colonel ZBV Akati says the school is anticipating collaboration with the Education Ministry to train more science facilitators at the school.
Actually, this facility will go a long way to promote STEM learning and teaching in Fort Garrison schools. We intend to collaborate with the regional office so that some of the teachers who teach science will be trained to help other students here to improve on their science teaching and learning. It will not be limited to the Udara Basic alone. All schools under Fort Garrison Education Center will benefit from this facility.
The G-Step Challenge aims at encouraging and supporting junior high school students as well as teachers to acquire practical skills relevant for providing societal solutions. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Now, about 3 million Ghanaians depend on the ocean to survive. According to figures from the Ghana Statistical Service, the fishery sector contributed 2.5 and 2.3% of Ghana's GDP in 2009 and 2010, respectively. But that has fallen significantly since 2011, with fisheries only accounting for 1.1% of Ghana's GDP in 2016, and there are fears the situation will further worsen. To mitigate this trend, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture is set to introduce a no-fishing zone policy starting from part of the Western region. There is more in the following report.
The depleting fish stock in Ghana's waters has become a source of worry for the country for some time now. Government introduced the closed season as a means to help reduce the rate at which the country's fish stock is dwindling. To enhance the efforts, government is set to introduce the no-fishing zone policy soon. A director at the ministry, Doris Yabua, believes the policy will curb the rate of depletion. She has been speaking at the media launch of the National Blue Economy Summit.
Marine protected areas, they are areas that have rules of no take fish. You can't take anything from there. Those areas are protected so that the marine life there will rejuvenate and go back into the system. You understand it? So you declare an area that this area can't do anything there, and then you wait for the fish to grow, and when they grow, they will just replenish the stock of the ocean. That is, yeah. So it's a standard tool, it's a standard measure. That's it's done in many countries, and we are now starting. We have done some studies, and our studies have fallen on the Western region. So the first two will be done in the Western region.
The National Blue Economy Summit is organized under the auspices of the Office of the Advisory Unit and their partners, the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, the UNDP and others. The summit is aimed at raising local and national awareness on the need to protect the ocean, mobilize collective action for the ocean, and also to share ideas on best practices. Dr. Eugene Owusu is a special advisor to the President on the SDGs.
The ocean is at risk. It's certainly not new. It didn't start yesterday. It indeed has been a gradual process. But as I said in my statement, this is a global problem, and it's a global phenomenon. And because no individual country can deal with the challenges of the ocean. That is why we have the high-level panel on the ocean economy that has 17 heads of states and government championing action on the ocean when it comes to effective protection, sustainable production, and equitable prosperity. The reason we are having this summit is that a lot has been achieved in terms of global advocacy. But where the rubber hits the road has to be in local action. So we want to localize the ocean conversation. And we are using the National Blue Economy Summit as the beginning of a process to localize the ocean conversation. But it is going to be more than a conversation. It's going to be about identifying concrete actions, concrete transformational actions that can help us deal with the challenges to ocean health, and that can also help us really maximize the opportunities that the ocean presents for us as a country.
The resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme, Angela Lusigi, reiterated the importance for the ocean to be protected and the need to involve the locals living along the coast.
One of the things that we realize is that 3 million Ghanaians depend for their lives and livelihoods on the oceans. And this goes beyond food. It goes to business, it goes to the communities that live next to the ocean. But we also know that the health of our oceans is at risk. And a lot of this is coming from pollution, which is something that we can manage. A lot of this is also coming from climate change, which is as a result of our activities also as human beings. So our interest in supporting this summit is that we now understand what the risks are, what the problems and challenges are, but this is a time to come together to look for sustainable solutions. So as the communities are at risk, they have a central role to play in protecting our oceans. So this goes to how we manage our waste, and this also goes into sustainable fishing practices, for instance. But we have to help the communities to thrive. So this conference will bring together government partners, private sector partners, and it will also bring together academics and think tanks to move from just plans to actions. How can we sustainably move forward? And one of the areas that is the biggest menace, as we see right now, is plastic pollution. So we want to speak to all our consumers of plastics, to manage how they consume plastics and how they dispose of plastics. But we also have to support the people who collect our waste and the people who recycle these plastics. They need support to be able to grow their businesses and to be able to effectively manage our waste and recycle. But we also need to work with our producers who are already looking for alternatives to plastic.
The summit, scheduled for the 31st of May to the 1st of June, will be held on the theme, Our Oceans Health, Our Prosperity, Our Planet Security.
Now, bird experts and enthusiasts are worried about the alarming decline of Ghana's migratory bird population. The loss of wetlands and vital habitat for these birds have been cited as a major contributory factor to this worrisome trend. Michael Ashley has more in the following report.
A pied kingfisher sits comfortably on the branch. It is a captivating bird known for its distinctive black and white plumage and impressive fishing skills. Its distinctive rattling call and graceful flight make it a beloved sight for bird watchers and nature enthusiasts in Ghana. And so it was for bird watchers who participated in this year's Global Big Day event.
It's not inbreeding, the color, the bill is still yellow or pink. And the juvenile has a black bill.
With binoculars in hand and in the company of ornithologist David Damani, they embarked on an adventure of discovery, unlocking the secrets of Ghana's winged wonders, one feathered marvel at a time.
See, this is the northern red bishop. Yeah. This is the fire crown, it used to be called fire crown.
The yellow-crowned bishop is a striking bird with its vibrant yellow crown and intricate black plumage. In the colorful tapestry of bishop birds, the black-winged red bishop emerges as a fiery masterpiece. Its ebony wings and crimson plumage painting a vibrant portrait of avian brilliance.
Like a vision from an artist's brush, the Western Reef Heron graces the wetlands with its ethereal presence, adorned in a cloak of slate grey plumage that embodies elegance and tranquility. Perched gracefully on the ground, the collared pratinco exudes an air of serenity, embracing its surroundings with a relaxed demeanor that invites admiration for its poise and beauty. The loss of wetlands, the once cherished homes to countless migratory birds, poses a grave concern as these vital habitats diminish, threatening the vibrant melodies and survival of these winged travelers. Joseph Afrifa is with the Ghana Wildlife Society.
There are a lot of benefits we get from every species on Earth. So, and then there's that thing we call the food chain and food cycle. So somebody feeds on somebody, somebody feeds on somebody. So the snake feeds on the frog feeds on probably other things, and then that cycle goes on. The birds feed on the snake, somebody feeds on the bird, and that. So if you take one thing out of the equation, that means you've distorted the balance. So the numbers going down means that the ecosystem functioning is being tempered with.
For participants, their hearts were filled with gratitude.
I liked it. I mean, I've studied birds a little.
Okay.
I never took the pain to actually look at the details of what the names were, the features, and today I got to learn. So I believe that if I follow through with the monthly bird watching, I'll be a good and an experienced watcher here.
From the resplendent colors of the bishops to the majestic flight of kingfishers, bird walking shows the magnificence and fragility of Ghana's feathered inhabitants. Until we meet again, happy birding. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
In other stories, if you intend traveling to the United Arab Emirates to see greener pastures, Ghana's ambassador to the UAE is urging you to reconsider your decision. According to His Excellency Ahmed Ramadan, it is not as rosy as people portray it to be when it comes to working in that part of the world. He said this in an exclusive interview with Jackson Osei Tiamwa at his official residence in Abu Dhabi.
No, I will tell them that, it is not as
rosy as they see.
I tell you. It is not as green as the green green pastures that they are looking out for, honestly. Yes, there are some opportunities that you can run into to get a job, yes. But you spend as much as you earn. Even when you are here and you earn some small money, what an average Ghanaian does is that when he receives any money outside, he converts it in his mind, what it would be like in Ghana. Yeah, that's right. So, I've gotten this, and back home it would have been 10,000 or 20,000. But you spend that money here, not in Ghana. And it is really not very easy. Not very easy at all. But if one can get a decent job back home, I think it is better home than being outside. It is better home than being outside.
So the simple advice is what?
The simple advice is that, well, if you get the opportunity to be employed here and you want to come, fine, you can come. But otherwise, don't just rush because you think there is a job that you can, place your hands on. Make sure that you get it before you leave home and come here.
And that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's much more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is the news review. Stay with us.